Hi everybody, this is Jane Hallowell and it's September of 2020 and I want to talk to you today about a subject that I find very interesting and I hope that you do too. And I'm calling this video Looking Underneath the Surface, Looking Behind Things. And I thought it would be a great time to talk about this subject because we are dealing with, a lot of political stuff going on in our country. We're dealing with the virus. And the question that I'm always asking is, what lies behind this? What is the hidden meaning in all of these things that are happening to us in the world? But this translates into other things as well. It's not just simply what's going on politically or, historically in our country. So I was dreaming about this one night, and I woke up in the morning and I was thinking about the subject, and I was, it was almost as if had spent the night with Saint Germain, and he was talking about this subject. When you're working closely with a master teacher, they often are spending time with you when you're sleeping. I often wake up in the morning and I'm just filled with information, and I know that I've been with Saint Germain. And I had been speaking to him about this subject and about what lies behind everything. This was the topic. And I went down into my office that morning, and I was at my desk, and I have a stack of books with my phone on top, which I use the phone for my readings. And I just knocked the stack of books over, and the middle book in the stack fell out on my desk and opened pages to a particular page. And I looked down at it, and it was in front of me, and what it was talking about was what lies under the surface. And I knew that Saint Germain was playing tricks on me that morning, and I said, "Hey, Saint Germain, I got it. I got the message. Always pay attention to these little things that happen. Never overlook the smallest thing." And so I thanked him, and I heard him laugh, and he said that he wanted me to pay attention to what was hidden. What is it that I could not see with my open eyes or hear with my ears, to discern the meaning of things? So what is hidden from view? And everything does have a hidden aspect and a meaning, and it's up to us to make the connection. So Saint Germain says that what we cannot see is more important than what we can see. So we cannot see our hearts, but they're there. We cannot see our spiritual bodies, but they're there. We cannot see our consciousness, which is really who we are. It's invisible, and it's the truth of who we are, but we can't see it. We don't see our angels or guides every single day. They can manifest, and often I know that some of you that have taken my classes and that are growing spiritually have occasionally seen them. I have had the honor of seeing them as well, but they're not always visible. There's meanings in objects. For instance, stones that are very special, talismans, maybe a rosary, set of rosary beads. I have a very special, I'll show you, I'm going to show you a stone. I'm not sure that that this can be really clear on the video, but I'm going to try to put it up so that you can see it. This is an object that you can see it has a cross on one side. And then if you look at the other side, you can see a fish. And this is not just an object. It was given to me by one of my clients who I just love. She came in one day and she said, Jane, she said, I was leaving my office, and I picked up this stone, and I thought, I'm going to bring this to Jane. And it has significance for me, the sign of the fish and the cross. And it dates back to something that I've done in my past. And I immediately knew it. When I saw the stone, I immediately knew the hidden meaning behind the stone. So um, if we are awake and alert, we're going to look for the blueprint in everything and know that the unconscious memories lie beneath the surface. It's like the scuba diver that goes diving into this beautiful lagoon. You'd never believe the beautiful plants and things that the fish that he or she would see, but they had to go below the surface in order to have that experience. So, what about anger? People can have anger and not know why. We need to determine the source of the anger. So if you see everything in a detached way, you're going to lessen your anxiety. Um, and and right now, I think particularly in this political season, that's important that we really, really try to detach. And things are not that important when we have reality to obtain them. Just remember that. A letter can have an intention, and you can set an intention before you send it. Books, of course, you get to know the author of various books um, and a little bit about them because they put themselves in the book. So you can maybe read between the lines and see a little bit about the author's intention. Um, you you might want to ask the question, what is the author really trying to say to me? There are trips that you take that may be the source of hidden messages. I can remember being in Ireland and being on the top of the great Queen Maeve's grave. It was all stones and it had taken me hours to get up there. And I put my hand down on this they call it a cairn. It's like a big, big mass of stones. And I put my hand down and picked up a stone that had the um, fossil, perfect fossil of a fish with all the scales. And I wanted so badly to bring that back to the United States with me, but I heard a voice say to me that it belonged there in that place, and so I put it down. So the hidden meaning in that, um, you know, is the ancient past of Ireland, of course, the significance of that. So, um, so when you think, about growing up, we learn as mothers, especially those of us that have been mothers, to always be looking for that which is underneath, because children, babies can't talk, they can't speak to us and say, "Mom, I'm feeling pain in my tummy." We have to discern the hidden meaning. So, just for you all to remember that there's a hidden meaning to everything. And, every thought has a meaning. And uh, when we talk about looking underneath the surface, um, under the surface, always contains the spiritual lessons that we're always receiving from our teachers. They are always present with us, even though we may not feel or see them. So the other thing, came to my mind when I was thinking about talking about this was the Wizard of Oz. The Wizard of Oz. Think about that. Um, the Dorothy, Scarecrow, and the Tin Man. They were so afraid and so amazed by the power of Oz, the wizard, and then they pulled back the curtain. And what did they discover? The little old man with working with um, the keyboard to make all these things, these magnificent effects appear. And and he was sorry, I think, when they finally uncovered who he was. But anyways, I hope you get the idea, and that it will open you up to thinking a little bit more deeply about everything, questioning everything, looking at everything a little bit different. And instead of just taking, what somebody says for the truth, look underneath the surface and see what is really lurking under the surface, what is really there. And in terms of objects too, what is the meaning of an object, especially if it's given to you by a friend and you look at it and you say, something about this object, what there's more to this object. So I hope you all have a good rest of the year. I am praying for the end of the virus, the beginning of 2021, and we can all take a deep breath and remove our face masks and live a normal life again. Sending you my love. This is Jane.